you always hear people talking about the alpha beta shit. Oh, I'm an alpha male, and it's obviously related to wolves, right? There's the alpha wolf of the pack that leads the pack, and there's beta wolves. Another one that you hear about wolves is called the lone wolf. It's the person who likes to be alone, and it's just related to people. So the thing with wolf pack is that it's a group for a reason. Wolves travel in packs because that's how they hunt, and you can think about it the same way with humans. If you claim you're the lone wolf, you don't get to have that connection with other people who can help build you up, help you in areas that you need to be helped with. Because that's kind of the whole point of having friends. You have somebody who can help you in a different area. But whenever I was in high school, I used to call myself the lone wolf, right? And it sounds so cringe. I wouldn't like directly say I'm a lone wolf, but that's how I would act, and that was my mindset too. Like, oh, I like prefer to be alone, even though that wasn't the case. But I had friends, and I had my friend who was like the leader of our group, right? And I would refuse to acknowledge that. And it was a pride thing, but whenever I would be at home, I wouldn't try to go out and hang out with them. And it was because in reality, I was very anxious socially. I didn't want to go out and face that fear. Basically, I was scared of socializing, so I would say I was a lone wolf and just do my own shit. But that anxiety was holding me back, and that was my personal reason of being like that. Now, another reason somebody might act this way and don't try to get new friends or try to socialize with people, it could be a lack of trust. There's people who don't try to make new friends and don't try to socialize because they don't trust others. Maybe something like traumatic happened to them. Maybe they lost a lot of friends who were like kind of two-faced or stabbed them in the back. So they don't trust anymore. They have a problem trusting people, so they don't try to make new friends because they feel like they can't trust anybody. They feel like everybody's out to get them, and they feel like everybody in the world's bad. And that's a very pessimistic way to view things. Doing that, obviously, you're not going to make new friends because you can't build a connection with somebody who you don't trust, and you're not even going to want to. So all I can really say is, some people like to be alone, truly, but most people do not. Like, the vast majority of people don't like to be alone. And if you're having trouble with trusting people, you gotta just be willing to test the waters and see if you can trust them, because it goes one or two ways. Either you attempt to trust them, you give them your trust, and you do get stabbed in the back, or you trust them and they deserve your trust and you get a new friend. But the thing is, if you never try to trust them, you never try to make new friends, you're gonna be stuck never having friends. You're gonna be lonely, compared to at least you tried, and if it fails and you can't trust them, all that happens is you end back at square one. So you either try to make progress and make none, or you make progress. So there's no point in not trying and trusting people. Another one could just be you're scared of rejection, which would kind of be how I was in high school, but you don't want to go out and experience that rejection. Whatever the area is, maybe you just don't want to feel like a follower, maybe you just don't like to go out. Maybe you don't have any friends right now, and you don't want to go out and try to make new ones because you're scared of the feeling that'll happen if they don't like you, or it feels awkward or whatever. And I get it. It's understandable. It's a very hard fear to overcome, but all you can really do about it, trial and error. Keep trying, get over the rejection, because rejection's everywhere in life. I made a whole video on that, but it really is everywhere in life, and you got to get over it eventually, because that's how you're going to really prosper and grow as a person. So if that's what it is for you, and you're saying, "Oh, I'm a lone wolf," because you really don't want to go out and socialize because you're scared of what will happen, you gotta try somehow, dude. You gotta figure it out, go for it, and because it's gonna be everywhere. So the quicker you get over it, the better, and quicker your life's gonna improve. Another one, big one for me, was pride. So whenever your ego kicks in, you don't want to have a leader, and you're not always gonna be the leader. Maybe in this group you're a leader, but in this group you're a follower. You're not always gonna be the leader, and for certain people, myself included, you don't want to be a follower. It doesn't feel right. It almost feels nasty following somebody, and that's how I was, and that's how I was in high school. And I'm still somewhat like that, but nowhere near as bad. I'm cool with if somebody's better than me at something, I'm gonna follow them and learn from them. That's how you should be. But in high school, I was like, okay, I gotta be him. I gotta be my own person. I gotta do things that I want to do, and I was very firm on that. And whenever I had my friend who everybody liked the most, he was clearly the group leader, I would basically just disagree with it, and I wouldn't accept that, even though I should have. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. You can want to be like the alpha of the group or whatever, and that's cool and all, but don't let it hold you back from socializing, getting out, and making isolate yourself. Don't isolate yourself over that, because it's cool to be prideful and all. Be prideful whenever you need to, but don't be so prideful where you're holding yourself back. And then one more thing that I can think of that'll make you fall into the lone wolf trap is just having the lack of interest in socializing. Now the thing here is, some people will actually lack the interest. Some people genuinely like being alone, but it's rare. Most people don't. Most people have one of the reasons that I mentioned before. There's a reason why they're like that. They don't genuinely want to be alone. They just do it because it's like a coping mechanism. Now, well, like I said, some people have it. It's rare, but the majority of people just say they don't have an interest because it's their way of coping with it. It's their way of convincing themselves to not go out and experience these things because they're scared of what might happen. They're scared of the rejection possibilities. They're scared of just being out in the open, being maybe losing their trust with somebody. They're scared of these things, so they tell themselves that they have a lack of socializing whenever in reality they really want to. And they know it deep down, but their brain copes with it and convinces them that they don't want to socialize. They don't want to make new friends. They want to be alone. So doing that, it just tricks you into thinking the lone wolf trap, you know. So really try to not fall into the lone wolf trap because it's gonna. First of all, your social skills are gonna deteriorate. You're gonna be progressing backwards because you're gonna be losing out on the new experiences you make, and you'd be falling out of practice. You wouldn't be going out and doing things as much. So you'd be losing your edge. You'd be a lot worse, and it just overall, you'd be losing social skills. So just try to get out, do things. Unless you know for a fact you're truly somebody who likes to be alone, don't let these things hold you back from going out and meeting people and socializing and improving your network and meeting new people, because you never know how they might help you. You never know how you could help them. You can save somebody's life, they could save your life. You never know what will happen, and they might even help you advance in your life. Maybe they get you a new job that you need, or they might know somebody in your company, or they might just end up being your best friend. You never know. So get your social circle. We're going by wolf names. Be the alpha, be the beta, be the fucking whatever you want to. But don't fall into the lone wolf trap because it's a bad place to be, and it'll make you stagnant, and you won't grow as much. But if you're interested in the content, please subscribe. Make social skills videos, self-improvement type stuff. So if you're interested, again, please subscribe. I do coaching. If you're interested in having a one-to-one sales call, there's a link in the description. You can click it right now and schedule one. Besides that, get your goals, everything that should happen, and I will see you in the next video.